I want to talk about it more whenever I get done working out, but I want you guys to check this scripture out. It's Jude 1:22. I think if I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen. But it says, keep yourself in the love of God. And we're going to talk about it, but this is how I think that each and every one of us should start our morning. Keep yourself in the love of God. Let's talk about it. Let me go work out and then we'll talk. As I get older, workouts for me evolve to such a different place. If you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you've heard me talk about struggling with strongholds of guilt, shame, condemnation. Just feel like there's a wet blanket between me and the love of God. Just understanding and reading the word to where God talks about his perfect love, me wearing my seatbelt, how much he loves me, how that love could never get separated from me, and walking in that love, feeling that love, not waking up every day, kind of looking at my life to decide whether or not God deserves to love me, but understanding that it is all grace. He chooses to love me outside of anything that I've ever done. It's not about my works or anything like that. You've heard me talk about that. So when I bring up this scripture is really important to me. It's really important to my life and my walk with God because, well, just listen to it. Keep yourself in the love of God. I have to remind myself all the time of a conversation that me and God had actually not too terribly long ago, where I was seeking God about his love and walking in his love and feeling his love. And I know we should not walk by feelings. I understand that. In a real gentle but also a real serious way, God just kind of asked me, what would you have me do? What would you have me do so that you walk on this earth feeling, more loved or understanding how much that I love you? What would you have me do? And God asked me that question, and I think it had to get to that point for me to understand, and I'm going somewhere with this. God has already done everything that he could possibly do. Jesus has already done everything that he could possibly do to reveal to us how much he loves us. God sacrificed his only son. And I know that that is the very core principle of our Christian faith. However, sometimes it becomes something that we don't even think about every day. I know I don't, but God sacrificed his only son. I have a son now, and that is very, very real to me. The reality of how much of a sacrifice that is mind-blowing to me. And on top of that, Jesus and everything that Jesus did, how he was divinity, he was a part of God, and how he sacrificed that and he became a man, and what it would be like to become a human after being part of the Trinity, part of God, and going to the cross and being beyond description, all those things. So God asked me, what would you have me do? And I realized, what am I thinking? Like, what am I expecting? Really, really prideful and selfishly, I wake up every day like, come on, God, show me something. It's like, holy cow. If you don't get it through everything that he's done, and I know this seems really sharp to some people, and I'm not trying to be rude, but this is the wake-up call that we have to give ourselves sometimes. If you don't understand or get it by now, everything that he's done, then something's not broken on his end. Something's broken on our end. You're just not understanding how much he loves you, and you're not seeing the sacrifice and everything that he did. Going back to the scripture in Jude, you have to keep yourself in the love of God. We can't wake up every morning thinking that it's God's responsibility. He loves us, and don't get me wrong, he would. But it's like pampering little kids in order to do that. And we would never grow if it just every morning we woke up and he would just come down, in a real tangible way and just say, I love you, I love you, I love you. There's a part of this walk that has to be in faith, and he has to allow us to grow in faith. But we have to keep ourselves in that love. We have to wake up every day, and it's our responsibility to daily remind ourselves of how much he loves us. Daily remind ourselves that the showing of his love is not everything that happens in our life, but everything he was willing to do to give us life. Everything he was willing to do to give us sonship, to make us daughters and sons of God. that is how we keep ourselves in the love of God, is we every day remind ourselves of everything that he did to prove his love. And so we keep the love of God in the forefront of our mind.